show is live, or subscribe to my channel and support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I could really use it. Right. So yeah, starting a bit late today. It's kind of busy. Weather today is interesting. It's kind of a gray soup up there, although there's a bit of blue. And there is snow. Or well, there was snow this night. Like 3 p.m. it started snowing. Kids still the same kids. They got a lot of that sort of fireworks. Right, but yeah, it snowed and 2/3 of it is kind of melted away again because it was completely snow covered. But yeah, totally did not expect that to happen. So snow has arrived in this January. Hello. It is Friday, the 2nd of January 2026. Temperature is 2 degrees Celsius with 86% humidity. Oh, that's high. 19 kilometers an hour wind and 36% precipitation. Looks like there's more forecasts of snow. Right. It's gonna stay pretty cold during the daytime. 3, 2, 1 degrees Celsius this week. With again a moderate snow warning. Well, I guess the snow warning did happen. It just didn't happen during the daytime. It happened in the middle of the night. Kind of weird that they would give that warning during the daytime, but yeah. Let it snow. Right, hope everybody had a great Boxing Day yesterday. Probably very uneventful and calm. It's usually very quiet. 1st of January. We'll see what happens today. I had a very late night. Stayed up too long, but I mean, whatever. I was watching the Frankenstein movie. I didn't actually finish it because it's like almost 3 hours long. But that was that is an interesting movie, although it's like the first half is definitely the most interesting. Very Renaissance, very like Tartaria hints. I mean, that's why I watched the movie in the first instance, because Mind Unveiled reviewed it and it seemed like that was definitely worth taking a look at, and it was. It's just like there's some alterations to the story script basically from the original that kind of changed things a bit, and that was like, I don't know, basically turned Frankenstein into like this supernatural creature, and it feels off. Like, I don't really, they built the story like this, and I mean, it is a pretty well, like the story, the way it plays out, it is interesting. It's just, it's not really Frankenstein. That's not really that story exactly. It's like because they just had that one alteration to make it supernatural, and I don't know. It's just, it's different. I don't really like that it's different. They had to alter something. Just, it's kind of the same as like with Lord of the Rings. Like, they had to alter a couple of things, and it's just like, yeah, you don't want that. So that's a bit what's getting in the way. But other than that, like, it's a beautiful movie, beautiful scenery, buildings that are awesome. Tartarian buildings. And yeah, very picturesque. I mean, Dr. Frankenstein like does it really well. He's great in the role. And so overall, yeah, I mean it's a well-written, beautiful movie. It's just like, yeah, the story alterations to make it that different. It just feels very, very Hollywood that they did that. And that's a bit of a like meh. But yeah, I mean that's how they built the story. Otherwise, it would be completely different. Anyway, I haven't really finished through the entire movie. I still have like the last hour left. Because I wasn't gonna watch that at 6 o'clock in the morning. To 7. So, yeah. Right. But yeah, it's been interesting watching that. I'm still thinking about that, mostly. Anyway. Gonna finish watching that later, probably today or tomorrow, I don't know. And then give you my full review on it. Because I mean, it is definitely a watch-worthy movie. It is very rich with like occult stuff and alchemy, basically, and well, effectively necromancy. It is very heavy on the necromancy with the dead bodies and assembly. I mean, what? Yeah, you'd expect that, of course, of Frankenstein story, but like they really did a lot with it. Very intense, very shocking too. I mean, if you're not used to that, it is pretty creepy and gross in a lot of ways. It's the first half, anyway. Let me take a look. What is this? An article with the pyramids on it. Okay. Oh. No. Okay, it's just the same. They're still trying to get official recognition. I thought there was some real new development. I guess this is a late repost or something. Hey, LSG, good to see you. First in chat. You've watched it, finishing the Minenville 10-hour homunculus video. Jesus Christ. Let's see. That's a big freaking video. This is really big. Good to see you, man. Yeah, that was a very interesting video indeed, and creepy. And big. How are you doing? Happy New Year. I've been really enjoying the coffee. Yesterday too. I had a third freaking coffee. That was kind of silly. But yeah, I did not get sick of it at all. I don't know, maybe it's like about the type of weather, but it was just great. I liked it. I had a coffee like late. At 10 o'clock. Maybe part of the reason why I stayed up so late, but I mean, like, it didn't make me sick or anything. I just enjoyed it. can't do that every day. It's gonna like wear me out. I drink too much coffee. But yeah, the time of getting sick of it physically is seems to be over for a little bit. Alright. Oh, and I just got a call from a company and might get a job interview. I have a job interview this Monday, so that happened, yeah, pretty much right before I wanted to start the show. It's also part of the reason why I'm a bit late, but yeah, I'm kind of enthusiastic about that. So we'll still have a show Monday, but not a super long one because I got an appointment later at 5. Right, anyway. Let's take a look around. What else is going on? Oh yes, the German elections 2026 is coming up. What the hell? Russian gas import is lowest since the 70s? What? Did it get even lower? What the hell? Oh. Because the Ukrainians are basically cutting it off their lines now. Great. Thanks. That is a great peace deal. A great peace deal. Anyway. German elections coming up this year, and AfD has surged in the polls, and there's a good chance that, like, despite like tons of assassinations that had happened last year, crazy shit. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. I don't think anybody's ever seen anything like that. Like, that sort of shit might happen in like countries like Mexico or whatever, where there's like heavy criminal involvement, but Germany, like, that's crazy. That shit, like, maybe during the Soviet era or whatever, maybe, but not in the free Western world. It's just crazy. But despite that, they're still running very strong, that political party, and yeah, they might win. Totally destroying the entire Soviet coalition, basically, that's been ruling there. Anyway. What the? Yeah, it's none of your business, Wesley. Yeah, it's a job. And it's none of your business what it is. Yeah. You don't need to know every frickin' detail of my life. I'm just glad I got a job interview. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but I'm just glad that it at least was considered, so. Ah. Oh. Yeah, the whole Minnesota childcare Somali fraud has really like been just exploding in the attention in the US. Because I mean, it was like completely out of control fraud, like on record-setting levels. So it's not surprising that it's getting so much traction everywhere. The Waltz guy is certainly in trouble with it, since he seemed to be kind of like at the core of the whole thing. Seems to be kind of the kingpin of the whole situation there. I brought it up. Yeah. Yeah, and if I feel like sharing more details, then I'll share more details, but don't count on it. Yeah, because I like to keep these things private. Because I don't really trust you people. Well, yeah. Alright, yeah, that's it for the news flash, I guess. Alright. Hope everybody's been having a great day. I don't know. Maybe it's the phone call, maybe it's the snow. I just feel like a lot of energy. But I don't really know exactly what to talk about. It's not like I was having an ongoing thing that's like, oh, I want to share this idea. I'm still like kind of like going through the whole Frankenstein first half of the movie because it was really impressive. Like he was like Dr. Frankenstein was like showing off his knowledge of necromancy by basically using electrical systems to empower and assemble pieces of a corpse and like basically animate it. And I don't recall the details exactly, but hold on. But they had really thought it out very carefully, so it's kind of interesting because it seemed like the details of it were updated with real world knowledge, like of physiology. Like there's been like a lot of like probably physiological fanatics that have been part of like writing that script. It really stood out. Like there's like actual knowledge of the human body, very thorough. That's like really high level that this man basically figured out, and he discusses it and he does these things. And I don't know exactly, but I think that probably that first part is like actually possible in ways. It just seemed very scientific, very real. Like this is probably what some people might have tried back then. So it's just very fascinating. Because of that, because it's not just, oh, it's a corpse, oh my god, what is he doing? And just, he's doing it, but not half of Frankenstein, that new movie 2025 is really good. Like really good. One of the best that I've ever seen surrounding like that era, that subject. Just the second half is like more about the monster, and it's like, this is a supernatural creature. There's no way that those scientific experiments would have yielded that result. Like, that's silly. No, like, because it doesn't have like a machine hooked up to it either. So it's like, okay, so how did it become completely self-sufficient? Like, that part, it's like they basically switched it out, like a magician's trick. The first half is like really realistic. If they would have like continued that, it would have been a slower movie, but really realistic and more like the old Frankenstein story, where it's just like monster barely holding together, really strong but barely holding together, barely cognition. But with this, they basically switch it out, and it's like more like a supernatural creature that is like born out of it. And that is like, yeah, that kind of then negates the entire scientific development angle of the first half. It really does. There's like no more references to it either. And that's like that's a pity. Like, I really noticed that watching. It's like, okay, yeah, I guess it's still kind of a cool story, kind of very gothic. But like, I missed the first half. Watching the second half, it's really like, that really stood out to me. So yeah, there you go. And I'm still kind of like a Tartarian Easter egg, because like the Frankenstein basically gets handed a castle from a yeah, a guy that's like a stock market or a money guy, money giver, who's like really in come from. Nobody talks about it. It's just like, yeah, here's a castle. You can use this. Like, oh, this is great. You can really use this. But it's like a castle. It's like in the middle of nowhere. And it's super old and overgrown. It's like, yeah, that's not a newly built castle. Where the hell did that come from? Like in the US? Where the hell did that come from? Or was it even England? I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it's supposed to be taking place, whether it's England or America. Just reusing it. Really kind of stupid how eventually it all burns down. Like, that's very annoying. And probably a hint against the whole narrative surrounding these ancient buildings where they say, oh, then a fire happened and then they restored it and a fire happened again. This, I mean, this is what my lunch building, and like, you don't want that destroyed. But yeah, it's worth watching the movie if you're like into Mind and Veil. Then watching Frankenstein 2025 is definitely worth it. Right. Anyway, hope everybody's Flat Earth. I talk about Flat Earth again. What was I talking about yesterday? Yeah, I didn't put anything in the title. Like, technically, in Dungeons & Dragons terminology, it is a construct, like an animated material thing based on flesh, like assembled and then animated as a unit. That, at least that's what it's supposed to be. That's the real Frankenstein's monster. But yeah, they turn it into a supernatural creature that is like thing, that shit, right? So that's really the alteration. They turn it from a flesh golem into an undead regenerating creature. And when I say regenerating, I mean like Wolverine level regenerating, which is like, oh god, really? It's a bit too much. is like an alien and is gonna get shot at logically. And I mean, this way it's not just gonna perish immediately or just be locked down all the time. And that's why they probably chose to make it like that, just to have more What? Australia forces HID checks for search engine users. Okay. Damn. Man, they're really going for it. The digital ID thing, man, they're just going all the way with it, aren't they? Ugh. I do not envy Australians for that. Alright, anyhow. I think I'm gonna put some Frankenstein in the title. Right, Frankenstein 2025 partial review. It's now in the title. Because, yeah, that's what I've been reviewing so far, mostly. It's what's on my mind. Right, and if you want a quick glimpse into the movie, yeah, then watch Mind Unveiled's review. He has video material of it too. That entire video, which is way longer than the actual movie, is not all about the movie. So it's like the first 20 minutes, half hour is about the movie, if you want some glimpses into it. And I did watch that before I watched the movie, so it didn't ruin anything. Not really. All right. You guys still there? Oh, by the way, LSG, I really hope you are still there, because I kind of want to send you an invite to my new Discord server, since the old one I'm not in there anymore. So if you say hello to me in Microsoft Teams, I'll send you an invite link, if you're still there. Oh man, I'm almost through my coffee. So nice, I like it. And despite all the snow reflecting all the light, it is kind of dark out here. The clouds are getting very gray. All right. Well, I guess everybody left again. I'm really sorry. Really sorry. I don't really know what to talk about right now. I mean, I feel pretty good. But yeah, there's nothing in the news feeds that really stands out to me. Whoa, there's some really thick clouds out there now. I mean, it might snow even during the show. The way those clouds look, that's snow clouds. I hope they wait until I'm done doing groceries after the show. But I mean, it's not windy, so even if it does snow, it's not gonna be that terrible. Like, if it's also windy, then it'll suck. But it isn't windy at all. Did I? Yeah, I did check the weather and everything, right. Thank you for the Rogan's up. I've been watching. Like, the amount of views have been very slow recent shows. I mean, I know like that all the trolls dropped off and shit. But before, my views were kind of resting at 300 naturally. And now they're just sitting around 200. Yesterday's show only 123. It was only an hour 10 minutes, so maybe that has something to do with it. It's kind of weird. My views seem like proportional to the amount of hours, like 100 an hour for some reason. I don't know why that is. Right. Yeah, by the way, I've been like having trouble with D Live, and what's the other thing? I don't know why that is. Is it Odyssey? Because I haven't really been able to like watch Quantum of Consciousness videos and freevoice.io, and they're using Odyssey, I think, and it's just not working for some reason. Very strange. And D Live also, like, half the streams on there, like, they don't even show. It's very strange. Like, it kind of slipped in. I thought it was like a temporary bug, but it seems to be persisting. I don't know why. It doesn't give like an error either. It just won't start. Okay. Odyssey timed out. What's going on here? Maybe Odyssey's just down. Very weird. I don't really use Odyssey for live streaming, but I do have like a significant archive of a lot of my shows on there. Would be a shame if something would happen to it. Yeah, that Odyssey ain't loading for some reason. Huh. Anyhow, I'm just gonna roll smoke. I don't know. I feel pretty good though. I'm just kind of surprised. I feel stable, I have energy, I feel hope. I feel surprisingly good for early January. And my overall financial situation, which is not great. Like, I knew that was gonna happen, and but I'm living through it. I really did anticipate. I've held tight. Didn't do anything foolish financially. No unexpected, unlucky things, expenditures. And yeah, I mean, I might, if I'm gonna have a job soon, that would be amazing. I don't know if I would hold out for very long. I'll try, but even if just for like a month or something would make a big difference, like on my record, and maybe even financially. So yeah, I feel very hopeful. It's just I don't really know what to talk about right now on my show, other than the Frankenstein movie, even though I didn't really finish watching it even. And yeah, I'm not getting a lot of feedback from the chat or anything. Hope you appreciate my input about it. Right. Anybody out there, if you can support me, that would be great. I am gonna need it. I know you all love me e-bagging, but yeah, I'm just giving you a heads up. Some support would be great. There's no real hurry right now, but I will need it eventually. Hey, what's that? Huh. Oh, that's nice. Whoa! Whoa! Damn! What a pretty nice PayPal from. I did not expect that. Thank you very much, guys. Whoa! That is gonna be significant help. Holy shit! Thank you. Thank you for the PayPal. I just checked it. From who is that? Okay. I think it might be from Flatter Sage. Thank you. If it's you, dude, he seems to be crushing it, which is great. Like I'm really, dude. if Letter Sage is like really like doing great and like he seems to be like building his farm and shit last time I spoke to him, and yeah, must be very busy with that, which is probably why I'm not seeing him so much in the chat. But I'm like really happy for him because I mean the guy he has a farmer spirit. I know he will do great. Like the plants appreciate him, and that's like a real advantage when you're trying to be a farmer. And so I really hope he's doing great with that. Like I'd love that. And thank you for the support. I'm gonna continue doing my best to be entertaining and interesting. Although, yeah, if I'm gonna have a job though, the amount of shows is probably gonna decrease dramatically after that point. But yeah, I mean, if I have a lot of input that I need to share, then I'm probably just gonna do a couple of shows in the evening and all that. Just to fill in the blanks. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't have the job just yet, so... and I shouldn't be counting on getting it right away. It's just an interview, so... Right, anyhow. Well, that was a giant upturn. What a way to start out today. We got snow. Got some support. Thank you very much. So yeah, makes me feel really appreciated this this first week of 2026. Thank you very much, guys. Still fireworks. I mean, that's gonna keep going for a while. And it's kind of funny too, because I think it's like in more places where supposedly fireworks have been outlawed, yet it seems in all those places where that specifically happened, people just don't give a fuck. They're doing it anyway. It's kind of funny that in a way, like, New Year's Eve fireworks has become tied in with like a rebellion against government. Not against the nation, but against the government bureaucracy. Seems to be, oh, the bureaucracy says we can't do it anymore. Well, then now suddenly everybody really wants to do it, where before they would just sometimes do it, and now they want to do it. They want to do it even more. Hilarious. These kids who still haven't run out of fireworks. It's the same kids. 2nd of January, they're still not out of fireworks. It reminds me so much of when I was a kid. It was exactly like, I would just keep going and going and going until my parents basically said, okay, no more fireworks now. I'm like, aww. It's like, yeah, you've been doing it for a week, damn it, stop it. Yeah. It's not super cold, but the high humidity kind of does make it very cold out there. It's kind of cool, by the way. This is very interesting to me. Like, I got new leather gloves. Like, somebody left them behind in the store, like, for a month. And it was like, hey, can I have those? Like, because I could, like, showing my gloves that I've been using for years, and it's full of holes. And then, yeah, I got it. So I got new leather gloves. Maybe a little bit small, but I mean, at least they're not full of holes. I'm very happy with it. Got new leather gloves. Like a glove. So that was, yeah. That was right before the new year, last time I went for groceries. So it was a nice surprise. Somebody could just drop me another leather jacket or something. Nah, this is not gonna happen, of course. But yeah, the gloves, pretty awesome. Feel very lucky. And I mean, they have been like left behind for like a month, so probably somebody just completely forgot about them. Happy New Year, everybody. Right, so yeah, I don't know. Feel despite all that, might be a short show today. I'm gonna take a look. There's some activity. Whoa! Worldwide Debates is chock full with people right now. A lot of muted people. Holy shit. A lot of muted people, including Wesley. Hey, Nathan! Nathan Oakley's in there. What the? Okay, I'm gonna take a listen to that for a bit. I guess I'm not really gonna then have my show there since Nathan is doing it, but I'm gonna go in there and take a listen. Hope you don't mind. If it's gonna be too bickery, I'm gonna just drop and then round out my show. But yeah, I'm gonna go join there now. Let's see what's going on.
He knows how to use it, and he's using it and suggesting that because I can't describe how it's parallel and perpendicular to a plane of reference. No, I can definitely describe those things. I think these people are projecting their own ineptitude and lying about having used these tools that measure Earth flat. They're the liars, and they want to project onto you how you've never used one when you have. Well, no, Earth's still measured flat with this tool, regardless of your need to beg the question of a ball that won't give you perpendicularity and describe it being a vector to a point, which won't give you perpendicularity either. What you do need for this tool is a plane of reference, horizontal, to measure Earth with.
That is a must, and it's a classic case of not the ground. Anything else but the ground, because the ground is flat, level.
Not one of them is mentioning curvature. They're all mentioning plumb, vertical, perpendicular. These words should not be coming out your mouth, ballers.
Here's the next thing he sends me. Listen to this now. The bubble moves because gravity makes the liquid's free surface settle on the equipotential surface perpendicular to the local gravity direction. When the bubble is centered, the vial is oriented so that its level reference corresponds to a plane perpendicular to the local downward vector. Do you not understand what that means? He's asked me to read this. Don't you understand what?
Okay,
These people
let me
are.
just
Oh my God, dude, this is bad.
describe-
I gotta stop. I'm getting retarded just listening to this.
Okay, gotcha. Can you describe the gravity vector? That still requires perpendicularity. It's a downward vector. If they're going to assert that the 111-year out-of-date notion that all things tend in a downward vector, perpendicular to a plane of reference also, somehow gets them out of jail when they need a horizontal plane of reference for this tool to measure angles from it, doesn't alter how the tool's functioning, perpendicular to their description, inaccurate though it is, and 111 years out of date, of a downward vector. That still requires perpendicularity, that's 90 degrees to a plane, to have a downward vector. Now, their gravity, 111 years out of date that it is, still isn't going to change how horizontal the plane of reference is required for the tool. Doesn't matter that they've inserted a word gravity. It's still down, but the vector of gravity's down. Okay, well, not all things tend towards the surface. We've got clouds. So that load of old shite's debunked. We don't have everything moving towards the surface of the Earth. Even their own non-pseudoscience practitioners of heliocentrism will acknowledge that the out-of-date 111-year-old rhetoric of a downward vector has been debunked and replaced by Einsteinian bent pseudo-Riemannian geometry. Nevertheless, their incorrect assertion of a gravity vector still requires perpendicularity and a plane of reference to have a downward vector described inaccurately with gravity.
All the tools.
So he
that
writes,
they-
I can't believe he just read it and still doesn't understand. Because they said the word perpendicular, I guess that means he's right and I'm wrong. Because I used the word perpendicular in there. These people are lost or they're trolls. And I'm going.
They didn't offer measurements of curve, though. What we've done is discussed a tool that measures Earth flat quite extensively for about 40 straight minutes. I asked for evidence of Earth curvature. What we were given was a tool that references a horizontal plane of reference in its setup procedure. So, in its setup procedure, you need a horizontal plane of reference. Sorry, where do these dumbos think they're getting a curve measurement out of this from? They're not.
We never heard of spherical axis? That's what he opened up with. Anyway, what I was saying was all the tools that they use, everything used to measure Earth requires it be flat. It be accomplished on a ball. So I don't know why they would bring up tools.
Do you want to add something? Illegal 42?
Trolls right here. They're trolls. They're not. They're dishonest, retard trolls. That's what we're dealing with.
Saw illegal 42 open his line and sigh. Do you want to add something?
No, you got this.
Okay, I'll conclude. When asked for curve measurements, what we get is Earth curve. No, what we get is flat Earth measurements. That's what we got. We're all clear. Earth curve was the request, flat Earth measurements was what we got. A tool that references a horizontal plane is what we got. Earth's measured flat.
I bet you got a bunch of stuff posted in chat from Buckside Buster, though.
I don't look at the chat. I just use the Discord server as a public gateway. So I don't involve myself in chat skanks posting things. I couldn't give a crap what they posted. I asked for, verbally, Earth curve, measurements. We got flat Earth measurements back, though, didn't we? Axiomatic requirements for horizontal planes of references. That's what we got in terms of a tool that utilises those axiomatic flat Earth measuring principles. That would be perpendicularity, vertical and horizontal. Leveling tools with respect to the plane of the horizon. That's what we got. That's not Earth curve measurements, that's flat Earth measurements. You dumbos. You all dropped on your heads? What, they're chat skanking? Yeah, I don't read any of that crap. I've got a live audience that likes to listen to people verbally discussing how Earth gets measured. So far, 40 minutes, Earth has been measured flat and only flat. Axiomatic principles that require it to be so. That's what we got. Moving on, any scientific evidence of gravity? Has it got mentioned?
I have a point to make on that. You'll need a downwards vector, which down is with respect to a horizontal plane of reference as well. I don't think that will help them.
Yes. What John's pointing out before we get an answer from any of the Globe chat skanks that downward vectors, 111-year out of date Newtonian gravitation, will also require a plane of reference.
Yeah, any Globers that want to rebut his prompt, please go ahead, because I've been waiting this for a long time, and I bet nobody will do it.
You know, really, there wasn't something to be rebutted, really. I mean, I've asked for scientific evidence of gravity.
I know. I've listened to you for 5,000 hours. I know, and nobody has ever done it. And it's probably not going to happen today. But
Fair enough. You're just encouraging them. I appreciate it. I mean, last call for scientific evidence of gravity. Anybody at all? Go ahead, Darwin.
Well, yeah, you know the old story, right? I mean, you can't really very manipulate it here on Earth, so if the Earth was a ball and it all worked the way they say it would, then yeah, go up there and then suddenly there's no more vertical displacement, supposedly. And that would prove it, but yeah, nobody can actually demonstrate that unless you're gonna trust NASA and what they say they're doing, and reveals a lot of like trickery, which draws into doubt that any of that is legit. So yeah, no, there's no real scientific evidence based on empiricism, but there's many different ways that people have developed on how to consider what's happening other than relative density based, right? Like a hole in space-time. Like you just remodel reality, just like black holes happen in a fourth dimensional way. You could think of gravity as being like a hole in a flat plane in which material will, like a fluid or like a liquid, like fall into the hole and then stay there, right? And if you treat gases like a fluid, like a liquid basically, then they will drop into that hole and not be pulled out. It violates, of course, second law of thermodynamics, but yeah, when you're gonna remodel the properties like in another dimensional way, then you can like bypass those types of natural laws very easily, because well, it's a completely different approach to physical reality in the first instance. But yeah, that's really where they're left at. It's just basically the demonstration of the heavy weighted ball on a trampoline. It really comes down to that. That's how they think of it. That's what they're left with. They of course can't prove it scientifically, but at least it gives some grasp to the mind on how you can imagine it, right? And that's all they got. So yeah, no scientific evidence.
All of that for that.
You said down and up both when you're describing gravity?
Well, down, up, in the fourth dimensional way, there is no real up and down. It's like you treat the 3D realm, the reality, like a two-dimensional plane, and then where there's gravity points, they are like holes. In that plane, it's pulled down, but it's not literally down in the third dimension. It's just a hole in time-space. And matter then gathers there because you can imagine it if you think of the 3D realm as a two-dimensional plane.
Well, see, you said up there. You can't go up there before you went into your...
Oh, yeah.
And the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, away from the supposed ball planet, right? When you have your distance, well, supposedly, according to the whole lore that also supports the moon landing system, when you get away, you're supposed to have less of this gravity. The vertical displacement would stop. You would float, supposedly. Well, that would...
Just trying to point out your contradiction. He's tried twice, but you just keep jabbering and waffling. Go ahead, John.
Up and down is with respect to a horizontal plane of reference. When you start describing from a sphere, That's not up and down.
Of course.
That's correct.
You're using both terms. You're saying out from.
Oh, I'm not denying that there is like a cognitive dissonance between the flat plane based measured reality and the conceptual reality of the ball and outer space. And yeah, I mean, colloquially, everybody, including ballers, will just say up and down, not to the center and away from the center, because that's just how it connects.
Yeah, it doesn't connect. There's a disconnect. That's the point.
Yeah.
You're incongruent with the...
But I mean, it's a force of habit. I mean, I'm not trying to make a case here. I'm just describing what they do and how they think. Because I know that there's no point.
Sure, we got that. But what they do is they take horizontal planes of reference that are required axiomatically to describe something that doesn't have one, which is incongruent with the reality that they have when they describe out from a ball. Or they can't describe perpendicularity to a plane of reference, which is what they are using. You're saying, well, that's just how they colloquially do it. We're saying, no, don't get to use a horizontal plane of reference if it's Earth's surface to describe up from it if you're on a ball. You don't have that. The ball doesn't afford you that. So you don't get to use it. Oh well, they just use it anyway. Well, we're going to be stopping them because it's incongruent with the actual measured reality of Earth's surface. To have an upward vector, you require a plane of reference. Now, flat Earth will give you that. A globe Earth will not.
Yep.
Correct.
30 words.
When they colloquially use it, we're stopping them. Now you're saying, well, I'm just describing how they colloquially use it. That's not your fault that they have utilized and hijacked the actual measured reality of Earth's flat surface to suggest ball concepts that are incongruent with the actual measurements of Earth's flat surface. When they're incongruent with the measurements of Earth's flat surface, we're going to stop them in their tracks. So you don't get to use up.
All right. Well, that would be very frustrating to them because for the ballers, it is kind of essential to do that switcheroo. Not just for their own comfort, but also to kind of like massage in the transition from the flat plane measured based reality to the ball mathematical system, warping of it. So, yeah, to them, that's like the sloppy chewing gum connect, basically. That's not really a connection. Yeah, pointing that out will be very frustrating to them. Because it just emphasizes how they do not have that connection, really.
This just shows so much that
Next.
FE versus FE, and that another FE has to create the hypothetical argument because nobody will actually engage because they will get destroyed.
They can always talk through me and double speak their way around their requirement for a horizontal plane of reference, lie about how theodolite works, things like that.
Right. Bro, I appreciate you being here, bro. You're the GOAT.
Is there any evidence that Earth is measured anything other than a flat plane?
No.
Oh. There you go.
No.
A room full of people. Is there any evidence that Earth is measured anything other than a flat plane?
Well,
No.
well, they might try.
Shut up, Arwen.
Well, they might try new stuff.
Better.
Sorry.
Yeah, Arwen. Yeah, I understand. You want to play devil's advocate. Let the real people object. There's nobody. Nobody will do it.
Well, they're all on mute here, so I mean,
They're all on mute.
I could
Yeah,
look.
no, okay. For conversation's sake, go ahead. Yeah, speak for them. Be devil's advocate. Go ahead.
Please don't.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Arwen.
Okay.
You can.
Yeah, can you then let me actually talk, dude?
Okay, my bad.
God. So yeah, what might happen though, and I mean it's not a real serious threat for any of the FED crew, but there are some like research developments when it comes to the idea of terrestrial refraction. There is some development at it, and they might eventually start suggesting that even things like radar and everything abides by terrestrial refraction bending, which, and I mean, don't get me started on the technicality. I know it's still, there's development in it, and they might end up saying, well, we're measuring or scanning or perceiving it flat, but it's actually more spherical, etc., and then say that they did measure it flat, or that they did measure it spherical, but only because of the optics effects that seem to be caused, by the way, according to them, by the gradient. The gas pressure gradient seems to like have an effect on light in some way, but this is yet to be further developed, the insights on how this really works. And if the main question, the main obstacle for them is, can these effects, these specific effects, cause a geometry that is obstructed from a direct line of sight geometrically? Can it actually make it visible? Because I have not yet seen any direct evidence that it can.
Thanks. Yeah, but in order to describe that, you've got a pressure gradient being described for the light to traverse through. The pressure gradient itself is described from a horizontal plane of reference, as is refraction, the distance over the height. The refraction's described from a flat plane. The pressure gradient's described from a flat plane. Radar is measuring a flat plane.
That's correct. End of story.
I don't think it's the end of the story.
Refraction's measured with respect to a flat plane also.
It's very
well,
simple.
the original formula.
Not everybody out of the box.
Thanks, Darwin.
Yeah, the original formula, right? Like the hard-bordered refraction, which is the literal refraction. But I mean, this effect, which they call terrestrial refraction, it seems to not really be refraction. So that's confusing. Like, it doesn't work according to the standard, to the actual, what is it called again? It's a law of this guy. Sorry, the name is eluding me. But, yeah. It might be another type of effect that they call terrestrial refraction, and it might be happening, and it's still being researched. So, there's just a little bit of development there, and I mean, I'm gonna keep looking into it to see where it'll go. So, yeah. They might be progressing their trickery, and then eventually they can warp everything.
Shut up! I heard you!
Oh, okay.
Terrestrial refraction, I've got it the first 4 times, thanks, Arwin. That's an oxymoronic necessity for an atmosphere, though, isn't it? Sphere-shaped air. And an R value in the equation that was derived from a flat Earth measurement. Minimal radial value when measuring Polaris. So your terrestrial refraction has an oxymoronic necessity for a sphere-shaped air. It doesn't exist. Real refraction's measured with respect to a plane of reference. And the R value utilized in the equation, that's mathematics, in the inference of something called terrestrial refraction, was measured off a flat Earth. We don't have oxymoronic sphere-shaped air. The equation uses an R value measured off a flat Earth, and real refraction's measured with respect to a plane of reference.
Yeah, I know. But it's not refraction, as I just tried to point out.
Specifically cites that all of his calculations are done with respect to a flat plane as well. So, why are we even entertaining this?
Who knows?
It's a development. I mean, it's what it is.
Development of it. R was measured off a flat Earth.
Because we ain't got no ops in here, so we have to just like talk and talk and talk because there's no ops, and even if there were ops, they would get destroyed. And that's why they're not showing up.
Okay, you don't have to tell me about. You don't have to tell me about the Arwinian paradox. I mean, I was the one to discover that. So, but I mean, there's still things happening out there, and I'm just following it around and seeing, like, hey. Like, for example, the dextral rotation, like, one funny thing I pointed out about is, like, yeah, that fish tank you're doing that in, that's actually a flat-oriented gradient in a flat box with a flat bottom, and then you're supposedly bending light in it. Well, if you want to basically demonstrate an effect that is a miniature on a ball, then you're gonna have to have a ball-shaped container with a gradient in it that is also comported to that ball shape, and that's basically the challenge that I set to the guy.
4 times. It's like I'm talking to thin air, Arwin.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, if you're not that patient, I'm just gonna leave. You can just deal with your muted ballers here. Bye. Jesus Christ, man. What the fuck? Dude. This is just why I'm not part of FED anymore. This is just fucking annoying. Just trying to give some genuine input, and all he does is like get impatient and yell at me. Fuck that. Right, whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm not gonna sit through that shit anymore. Because this attitude is just terrible. I mean, seriously, complaining about ballers not speaking up when, like, all the ballers in that room were all server muted. Right? Trying to be very neutral and honest and just giving some updates, and apparently it's not appreciated. So yeah, okay, well, cool. Have fun with your giant echo chamber then. Right? Tedious. Alright, well, I'm gonna round out the show. It's an hour, 20 minutes. Hope you enjoyed that. Good reminder for me, like, why I don't hang around with these Nathan Oakley crew. Because it's toxic. Like, I'm here genuinely trying to be informative and about the developments. Apparently they just don't care. I mean, if you're, like, telling your opponents don't even try, then I say try. I think that if we just encourage ballers to actually try out something, we were still gonna win. It doesn't matter. Like, if the earth is flat, then it's flat. But the ballers just need to keep developing and figuring things out for their systems to prove or disprove that any of it can be true. Right? Anyway. So yeah, hey, I tried to share my development updates with them, and apparently it's, oh, you're just rambling on, Arwin. Ugh. Oh, really? Like, you're not doing that. Jesus. Anyway. Right. So, yeah, rounding out. Hope you all enjoyed that. Thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. It was a bit short, but it was okay. Interesting, unexpected Nathan Oakley connection there at the end. Hope he's not gonna like do this every damn day, because it's, I use the frickin' WWD panel, so around this hour. Would not appreciate it if it's just gonna hijack it now. I'm gonna talk to Riggs about that. Alright. Anyhow, hope you all liked the show. If you did, don't forget to Rogan's it up, and if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 PM Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live. Subscribe to my channel, support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can really use it. Right, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2505 on a Saturday. Hope to see you all then. Everybody have a great rest of this Friday. Yeah, hope to see you around. And until the next video, keep it flat.